Hello. Hello, everybody. Okay. My name is Irina, and today I would like to tell you a real story of Odoo implementation in a large corporation, with all its challenges and how the system can be adapted to the enterprise scale. I believe the story will be useful for both, for integrators who already worked with large projects, and for corporations who are just planning to do it, to use Odoo. Before we start, if you will have any question, please scan this QR code, and I will answer your questions after my presentation. Some words about me. I have been working with Odoo for around 7 years, and I started as a QA and then moved to the business analysis. Now I lead one group of BAs in my company at VentorTech. Most of my experience came from large and corporate projects, and what I have learned that implementation of Odoo, process of Odoo implementation depends a lot on company size. The bigger the company, the more it depends on a team and the processes inside. So let's move to the details. When we say Odoo, most people picture a very flexible system, something you can configure in different ways. For small and mid-sized companies, it's a huge advantage. You have a freedom of choice, quick changes, or flexible processes. But what happened if you are dealing with thousands of employees, dozens of legal entities, and hundreds of business processes? In corporations, the key word is control. Processes should be standardized and responsibilities clearly defined. So here, the flexibility can start work against you. Too many options give you too many chances to make a mistake or get lost something. So today, I will walk you through the ASBIS case where we faced this dilemma. Can Odoo, despite all its flexibility, become a core of large corporation? Let me say a few words about the company. ASBIS works in several main areas. They distribute hardware and software worldwide, run a strong consumer business with brands like Prestigio and Canyon Accessories, and also they deliver complex IT projects for enterprises. And with operations across many countries and thousands of employees involved, this was a truly large-scale project for Odoo implementation. Now let's look at the start of this project. Before moving to Odoo, ASBIS used their own ERP system. For many years, it was the base of their business processes, adapting to the company's needs and helping them grow. But as the company grew, new challenges came up. Many legal entities in different countries, complex processes, and large volume of data. The old system was no longer flexible enough. Scaling and development inside became more and more difficult and expensive. The company considered different scenarios, including redesign or even rewriting their own ERP system from scratch. But again, that would have a huge cost and resources. So the question came up. They need a modern platform that could handle all key areas, and first of all, accounting. This was the moment when ASBIS began comparing different systems and looking for a solution that would allow them to move forward. Among several options, Exact Globe, Microsoft Dynamics, SAP, the company finally chose Odoo. Why Odoo? Firstly, no out-of-the-box system could cover all their processes, but Odoo had lower ownership costs than the classical ERPs, and what most importantly, it was flexible. It could be customized for corporate processes and implemented step by step. For ASBIS, it was the key. But choosing the right system, it's a half of the story. The other half was choosing the right partner. And here ASBIS selected us, VentorTech, because we had experience with the international clients, we had a strong developer team, and of course we had expertise in accounting. Also we have expertise in designing Odoo architecture for the complex data flow. We also knew that the success of such projects doesn't depend on the box itself. It depends on the close teamwork with the client and the quality of customizations. That's why for ASBIS we became not just an integrator, we became a strategic partner. When we moved from the planning to implementation, it became clear. Even though we had a strong experience in MMC projects, implementing Odoo in corporations was completely different. Here everything was even deeper and more complex, for example, from customization sides. Time for communications was doubled through the hour and the client team. Dozens of data flows that had to be connected to the ERP, and each of them needed to work without any interruption. The data volumes are so high that if you don't manage performance separately, the system simply will not run fast enough. At the same time, the project had strong sizes. Accounting was unified across all companies, so we didn't have to adapt the system to each company. The client team knew exactly what they want, and they saw the final state of the project. So yes, the project was technically complex, but thanks to the combination big challenges and mature client, we achieved a very productive outcomes. In such project, success is 50% about how the work is organized. We set up a clear planning. Tasks were run in parallel, so loan approval chain wouldn't block the entire project. We built a strong team with the right level of seniority. In corporate implementation, this is critical because simple configuration is not enough. From the start, we agreed on a clear role separation. Who is responsible for what from the VentorTech side and from the client side. This allowed us to remove duplications and kept communications under control. One more thing we consider essential for enterprise projects: documentation and training. We prepared detailed specification for each customization and detailed user guides, not just for customized solutions, but for standard Odoo as well. So the client team could work efficiently with the system from the beginning. All of this, planning, right team, documentation, role separation, was the base that keeps the project going even with its complexity. That's how we worked. Now I would like to present you some technical features, some of the most valuable of them. Firstly, we built 10 connectors to the ERP system, to send and receive data on purchases, bills, receipts, sales orders, products, and so on. This huge exchange process must work 24/7 without any interruption. This way, accounting could consolidate data from all areas of businesses. We also developed a purchase reconciliation report. It shows mismatches between received and invoice quantity per purchase order line. The report compares not only quantities, but also amounts across purchase order, bills, and receipts, both in company currency and in document currency. So the finance team can act quickly. The next one, inventory aging report. In ASBIS, it was critical to track slow-moving stock, but the standard report in Odoo was not detailed enough, so it was required enhancement to fully control and cover their business process. And many other features that can be described in the separate presentation, otherwise this will last several hours. So altogether, these solutions created something like a template system. Once that template was ready, the expansion process started. We implemented everything in one company, tested it, and made sure the solution worked end-to-end. After that, the system was replicated to the rest of the group companies. ASBIS has several dozens companies in total, and today 5 of them are already in live in Odoo, and in 2026 they plan to bring another 10 companies onto the system. This shows that the client is satisfied with the system and the project results. That's why the implementation is expanding to other companies. As in any large project, behind the results was a lot of work and some real difficulties. Let's see what was the hardest and what lessons we learned. The first lesson is timelines. At the beginning, we expected 8 months, but the project went live in 18. The reason is simple. In such projects, you can't estimate full customizations without detailed analysis. And here we had 2 options. Go to long discovery, I suppose it would be last in 3 or 5 months, or use, for example, waterfall approach. It means when you write specifications and describe whole systems before the development. But a waterfall approach works when you develop system from scratch. But we are working with the existing ERP, where each step depends on the previous one. So waterfall simply will work. That's why we choose a step-by-step approach with the constant synchronization with the client. And the second lesson was performance. In our case, the main bottleneck were custom reports with complex logic and the automated evaluation process, where big data made calculations slower as well. The lesson here is simple. Performance issue will always appear in complex projects, and the key is to recognize and address them earlier before they affect go live. And the third lesson, team. Projects like this require a high level of seniority because there are many process-specific details that require deep customizations, especially in accounting in corporations. That's why when choosing a vendor, the client should look at large partners who can bring strong specialists. So when we have looked at the project and its results, now let's step back and ask, when does Odoo really make sense in corporations, and when it's better to choose another solution? In short, Odoo works for corporations if you are ready to align processes with the system or invest in adapting the system to business processes. In this case, Odoo can become a central ERP, deliver quick result, and still keep the total cost of ownership lower than in classical ERPs. From the other side, Odoo is not right fit if the company expects a perfect out-of-the-box system. And also, Odoo is not a direct replacement of focused CRM or WMS tools. Its main strength is connecting different parts of businesses to the one system. So, we have seen where Odoo can work and where it's probably won't. So, what's the final conclusion from our experience? Odoo does work in corporation, but it's not about the box. Everything depends on how the architecture is built, which customizations are, and how the team drives the project. I like to compare it to a metaphor. Odoo in a large corporations is like a sport car on route terrain. It will go, but only if you have experienced driver and right tuning. Thank you for your attention. Connect us on LinkedIn and come to our booth. And now I can answer your questions, if they are. Yeah,
thank you for the presentation. So indeed, if you scan the QR code over here, then you can ask questions to our guest directly. So please do so. We'll wait a couple of minutes for the questions to come. But here are some first questions. So did you launch the system in a multi-company environment?
Yes, we planned and designed the system as a multi-company. But at the end of the project, client decided not to go with these options, mostly because of performance. Because for accounting, it will be a critical issue if the system will slow down. So no, we didn't use it.
All right. And what was the amount of users put on Odoo for this specific project? And do you have any other examples of bigger projects in terms of amount of people onboarded?
Okay, at the beginning, we started this project with a small team. It was PM, tech lead of developers, and business tech lead of business analysts. But then, when the project grew and when the scope became more clear, we add people step by step. As I remember, at the peak of the project, we have around 20 people involved to this project from our side and the client side.
And how did you manage end users' trainings?
Okay. Also, at this project, we selected approach with user guides that were where was described each step that user should be performed to achieve their result. So it was like we prepared this manual and then client from their side training users, because in corporations we have a lot of levels of departments, so this part go to the client side.
Any other questions? We'll wait just 30 seconds extra. Otherwise, we can close the... I don't see anyone coming on the pad, so thank you very much for the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much.